Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the House of Nostalgia. My feature today is on the legendary actor William Marshall. His acting career spanned from 1944 until 1996. William Marshall was born in 1924 in Gary, Indiana. He transferred from New York University to the Actors Studio, where he began to study theater. He studied the Meisner's technique, which was invented by actor-instructor Sanford Meisner at the American Theater Wing at the Neighborhood Playhouse. Marshall made his Broadway debut in the 1944 Broadway future classic Carmen Jones, and in 1950, Boris Karloff starred as Captain Hook on Broadway, with Marshall as his understudy in the Broadway production of Peter Pan. In 1952, Marshall played the role of King Dick in the movie Lydia Bailey. In the 1940s and 50s, Hollywood actors and screenwriters and musicians were being blacklisted because they were accused of sympathizing with the Communist Party. And in December of 1953, Marshall's name started appearing in these lists. You see, Marshall performed for people who were cited as communist funds. Marshall declared that I know no other country outside of the United States, and my loyalties are to the USA and to my sister and brother Americans, black and white. I have never been, and never intend to be part of any party that works against or subverts the principles of the U.S. government. Fortunately for Marshall, this worked because his career would have ended like his other fellow performers during that time. In 1953, Marshall starred in the TV series The Harlem Detective and other numerous television shows throughout the 1950s and 60s, including memorable ones such as the character Jadu in the 1964 episode of the Alfred Hitchcock Hour, which was called The Jar. He also played in Rawhide and Bonanza in 1964, and he played in an episode of Tarzan in 1967. He also made an appearance in the original Star Trek series and the Wild Wild West in 1968. Marshall was cast as Othello at the Ah Mansion Theater, and he appeared in numerous movies as well. He played Glykon in the 1954 movie Demetrius and the Gladiators, and he appeared in two movies in 1957, Something of Value and Sabu and the Magic Ring. He appeared in the 1958 film La Fille de Fou, and in the 1968 film The Boston Strangler. In 1969, Marshall conducted seminars on methods of research in Black history at San Fernando State College in Northridge, California. His goal was to give the young people more information on Black history. He also became a full-time instructor in the Black theater. Marshall was the leading man in his most memorable movie, 1972's Blacula, where he starred as Prince Mamuolde, a blood-sucking vampire in modern times living in California. This movie was so successful that a sequel was made the following year, Scream Blacula Scream, starring Pam Grier as the leading lady. I didn't see the first Blacula, but I saw the second one maybe about a couple of years ago, and his acting, along with that deep voice, was just amazing. In 1974, he played the role of Bishop Garnett Williams in the movie Abby. Marshall continued appearing in television shows and movies throughout the 80s, starring in the 1988 TV movie Christmas at Pee-wee's Playhouse, and having a permanent role in Pee-wee's Playhouse television show starring as King of Cartoons from 1987 to 1990. Marshall continued to teach acting at various universities and teaching Afro-American arts and music in Watts, California, until he retired in 1996 due to health issues. William passed away June the 11th, 2003, at the age of 78. He was the father of 4 children. I watched an interesting 1991 interview with William Marshall on Terracus Lord Rex YouTube channel. I listened to how he was able to make changes to the Blacula character, how he changed the script. First, by changing the character's name from Andrew Brown, which was the name of a character in the television show Amos and Andy. And he also let it be known that he did not like the representation of black people in the Amos and Andy series. So he made the character an African prince, and he named him Mamuwalde, who wanted to free his people from slavery. And the studio did not want any parts of slavery even mentioned in the movie, but they let him have his way. He was an only child, and it was his mother who suggested that he leave Gary, Indiana, to keep from working in the steel mills for the rest of his life. His mom knew a lot, didn't she? Marshall was very intelligent, well-spoken, very knowledgeable on Black history, as I mentioned the courses that he gave earlier. And when he speaks, you listen. He had a lot of Harlem stories and the people that he met along the way. William was a true gem in the movie industry, and his accomplishments will never be forgotten. Thank you so much for watching my video on Mr. William Marshall.